besties, my name is Savannah and welcome back to my channel. As I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription and I feel like I've not been getting my money's worth lately because I have so many physical copies of books that I've been reading, but I've been really in the mood to read on my Kindle. So today I thought we'd start a video only reading books that are on Kindle Unlimited for a week so that hopefully I can find some good recs for you guys. I can get a good use out of my Kindle Unlimited subscription and I can just enjoy reading on my Kindle. A couple things about my Kindle before we get started, because if I were you, I'd want to know where this case is from. It's from @April Supply. I found them on Instagram and it's just literally the cutest case ever. I also have my little Sunny's Angel stuck on there, the little fawn. And then the Kindle that I have, maybe if I go into my settings I can find out. I love my Kindle, but it does feel like an ancient piece of machinery sometimes. Okay, we found it. It is a Kindle Oasis 10th generation. Just in case anybody's wondering. I've had it for I think almost 3 years now and I absolutely love her. But yeah, I have so many books on Kindle Unlimited that are downloaded on here ready for me to read. However, the first Kindle Unlimited book that I will be reading is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I am so excited to be reading this book for several reasons. First, I think it's the only book of Abby's that I haven't read yet. I read the Friend Zone series, I read Part of Your World and Just for the Summer, and unless she has some other books that I don't know of, this is the last one, which is actually gonna be really sad because once I read all of her books, I'm gonna have to wait till a new one comes out, and I absolutely love her writing. This book has also been recommended to me so many times, and people on BookTube who have really similar book tastes to me, I feel like have rated it 5 stars. So that's super exciting. We might get a 5-star book out of this one. I actually have already started reading it, and I'm absolutely loving and flying through it so far. I love how there's always some kind of like funny dog or funny pet in Abby Jimenez's books. The male main character has this dog, Lieutenant Dan, that's missing a leg, just like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. So there's always some kind of little quirky pet going on in her books, and I love it. I'm also loving our male main character, Jacob. He's just an absolute sweetheart and reminds me a lot of myself, which is kind of weird. Jacob and I both also love to journal. Jacob has been communicating with our female main character, Alexis, through writing letters, and I absolutely love that trope. I'm just eating this book up so far. Both of the main characters work in the ER, so that's how they met. I feel like, I wonder if Abby Jimenez used to be a nurse or a doctor or something, because a lot of her main characters have healthcare jobs. I have been loving this book so much that I've even been highlighting quotes on my Kindle, and I don't do that very often, so that is telling you something. Oh my god, this is another example of Jacob being me. Sometimes I'd Google a place just to see what I could before going, figure out what I'd order, what the parking situation would be like. Me, anytime I'm going anywhere. I know what I'm ordering and I know I'm gonna have to park on the street. Hopefully it's a parking lot. I would much prefer a parking lot, but I have to know what the parking situation is gonna be, because I have to know how early to leave in order to get there and account for parking time. Man after my own heart. Eating was intimate. It took a long time to truly feel comfortable doing it in front of someone. It took me a long time to feel comfortable doing a lot of things in front of someone. Okay, last quote I'll read, but this was just so sweet. Alexis, not Alexis, oh my god, I've been calling her Alexis. Alexis is the one in Part of Your World. Brianna is the girl in Yours Truly, this book. Brianna said, I always think that when we're quiet, we're agreeing to be harmless to each other, that we're just sharing the same space and letting each other exist exactly as we are, and neither of us would hurt or upset the other one. I just love that quote because there is nothing like comfortable, comforting silence, you know? Anyways, almost 50% through this book, I think, so maybe I'll even finish it today, and I'll update you with my final thoughts. Guys, it's a bit later and I'm 80% into the book now, and I wouldn't necessarily say what's going on is miscommunication, but they're both not necessarily communicating at the same time either. They're both kind of doing things and the other person is assuming that they're doing those things for a reason, and both of the assumptions are wrong. And it is just breaking my heart. I don't want to see these characters hurting. Like I said, I'm 80% in, we have 20% left of the book. Hopefully this mishap doesn't go on for much longer.
The silence echoed in the room, so close, secure, completely pure. You came to be right
Hello besties, it is now update time. I finished Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez and I decided to rate it a 5 stars. I've been reading a lot of books lately that have been coming really close to 5 stars, like 4.5, 4.75, and I was starting to wonder if maybe I was just rating them a little bit too strictly, but this book reminded me what a 5-star actually feels like for me. It's just this indescribable connection that you have with the book, and I had it with this one. Thank you to everyone who told me that I needed to read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I loved it so much, and I think it might be my favorite Abby Jimenez book now. I think my Abby Jimenez tier ranking goes The Friend Zone, one where she's a YouTube vlogger, the one where the guy is a singer, Part of Your World, and then Just for the Summer and Yours Truly, I think are tied for first place. I don't know which one I love more, which is saying a lot because I absolutely loved Just for the Summer when I read it a few months ago. Anyways, the next book that I've decided to read is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I recently read Masters of Death by her and absolutely loved it. I had never read anything like her writing style before and I just wanted more. So Kindle Unlimited actually has Alone with You in the Ether and One for My Enemy. So I was kind of deciding which one I wanted to read, and I decided I'll read One for My Enemy more in the fall time because it's about witches and I feel like it just goes with the vibes. And right now I decided to read Alone with You in the Ether. So far it's good, but I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Masters of Death. Just from like the vibe of the blurb on the back and from the title alone, I thought it was kind of going to give me like normal people vibes. Alone with You in the Ether as a title just sounds so existential and heart clenching. Got this guy Aldo who's a maths professor and is trying to like solve the mystery of time travel or the multiverse. I don't remember which one it is or if it's like kind of both. This girl Reagan who used to be an artist and now works in an art museum. Both of the characters are just very misunderstood by the people in their lives, and they cross paths kind of spontaneously and immediately click and kind of start this game of trying to understand each other. Reagan tells Aldo that they can have 6 conversations to learn things about each other, but it's kind of seeming like she's enjoying hanging out with him more and more and is going to want this friendship to extend past just those 6 conversations. But yeah, Olivia Blake's writing is super unique. It kind of has a jumpy vibe to it where like a new thought is starting before the last one was even completed, so everything just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. In that same vein, there is not really chapters in this book. It's like very large parts. So each part is like 50 pages, I want to say. Maybe less than that. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It's hard to tell because I'm reading it on my Kindle, obviously. I'm a girl who likes books with short chapters, so this is interesting to get used to. I'm super interested to see what my thoughts are when I finish this book and how the rest of it unfolds. Good morning, besties. I woke up this morning and finished Alone with You in the Ether on my phone. That is the nice thing about the Kindle app, is you can just wake up, roll over, and start reading on your phone in the morning if you want to. I finished the book, but I do not know what I'm gonna rate it yet. I'll probably have to give you my final rating at the end of this video after I sit on it for a little while, because I have a lot of feelings about this book. As you guys know, I chose this book because I read Masters of Death and absolutely loved it. And I think one of the things that I loved about Masters of Death is that it was very deep, but it was also very funny. Alone with You in the Ether isn't very fun. Instead, it's kind of painful. It's one of those romances that's very all-consuming and kind of leaves you just feeling, I don't know how to better describe it other than uneasy. I guess it's just not your typical romance where everything is tied up in a neat little bow at the very end. But it also made the book feel really real because that is kind of the reality of mental health and everything's gonna be perfect, happily ever after all the time. This book was super character driven. I don't really know how I would describe the plot other than just saying we are following two people. Really good description. I don't know, we're following 2 people discovering each other and discovering themselves. Like I said, it was a very beautiful, all-consuming romance, but it's a challenging read. So don't go into that book thinking it's just gonna be like any other romance. It's definitely one that will really make you think. You kind of have to unpack it a little bit for yourself. With our second book read, it's time to pick a third on good old Kindle Unlimited. I did a little bit of browsing on Kindle Unlimited this morning, and I saw that Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco is available on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm kind of tempted to read that, but I don't know if I want to start another fantasy series before I finish Throne of Glass. I've also heard a lot of things about Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. I think that's a standalone fantasy. Start Binding 13. Ooh, wait, this is hard, guys. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I've always wanted to read one of her books. Okay. To be honest, I think I'm gonna read like an easy romance book after reading Alone with You in the Ether. So right now I'm looking at Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which I know is like a classic book talk book that I never read. Heartless by Elsie Silver, which is the next book in the Chestnut Springs series that I haven't read yet. I think maybe I will start the sample of both of them and then just see which one I want to continue. There's nothing more fun and satisfying than finishing all the books that you've started and like getting to pick a new book to read next. I feel like you guys probably know what I mean by that. I'll let you know which book I decide I'm gonna read next. Okay, I've decided what book I'm gonna read, and I'm actually 50% through it now, so we need to catch up. The book that I settled on was, drumroll please, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I don't know, I just picked it up and couldn't put it down and literally read 50% of it yesterday, so I think that means that it has to be the next book that I read in this vlog. I'm sure many of you have already read this book like multiple years ago, but I never did, and it's been on my TBR for so long. So when I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, I was kind of like, now's the time, you know? I like to like write things in my notes as I'm reading in case something comes up that I want to talk about. And the first thing that I wrote was demurely LMAO during the spicy scene too. Oh wait, I just realized I haven't even told you guys what this book is about, because I just assumed everybody knew what it's about. Okay, rewind. Very brief overview synopsis of this book. Prince Henry is Prince of Wales, and Alex is the son of the President of the United States, and they have crossed paths several times and did not get along. In fact, they like actually accidentally caused a scene at a royal wedding. Like basically they do not like each other. It's like an enemies to lovers situation. But yeah, as I've said like 5 times, I'm now like 50% into the book, and it was like an enemies to lovers situation, but we're already to the lovers side of things, and I'm like, what's gonna happen next? Like I breezed through the first 50% of the book, but now I'm kind of like, where's this gonna go? Like the plot already plotted, and now what's gonna happen for the next 200 pages? I don't know. Hopefully it can hold my attention, and hopefully I continue to enjoy it. Almost knocked you guys over there. All right, besties, I have now finished Red, White, and Royal Blue, so we need to talk about it. I think the last time I was talking about this book, I was saying how I was like, what's gonna happen next? But the plot picked up in like a very obvious way. Like I feel like I'm not gonna tell you guys what it was, but like you probably already know what it was. Anyways, it re-engaged me is all I'm trying to say. I just ended up really enjoying this book. It was just very sweet, very heartwarming, super easy read. I loved how supportive Alex's mom and his dad were of him. Honestly, this book really surprised me because I wasn't expecting much from like a romance book talk book, but this book kind of ate. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. And with that being said, we need to circle back to Alone with You in the Ether, because I never gave that a final rating, and it's gonna be a game time decision. I'm gonna decide right now. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars as well, which is kind of funny because Alone with You in the Ether and Red, White, and Royal Blue are like completely opposite kinds of romances, but they're getting the same star rating from me. 4 stars is just so solid. It was a really good book, and I'd recommend it to people, recommend it to my friends, but it wasn't like a 5-star from me, but also wasn't like a 3-star, so 4 is just perfect. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, on the other hand, is definitely a 5-star. We're keeping that rating. Literally been thinking about that book since I finished it, and it's gonna be one of those ones that I might reread one day as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little Kindle Unlimited reading vlog. It's been super fun. Got me to read a bunch on my Kindle this week, which is awesome. I also saw a TikTok today that apparently it's Kindle Unlimited's 10-year anniversary, so this video was very timely. Thank you guys so much again for watching. You guys should comment down below books that you really like that are on Kindle Unlimited, because I'm really in a Kindle phase right now and I would love some more recommendations. I always love book recommendations from you guys. Every time I end up reading a book that I got a comment telling me to read, it always slays. So you guys have really good taste. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!